Hi, Connor. Mr. Y here again, obviously with Bazaar this time by Randall D. Standridge. Couple things we got to go over here. First of all, your key signature, of course, B flat, E flat, and A flat. So a lot of the A's are going to be flat. A couple of them are natural, I think, marked through here as you go. And there are a couple of B naturals and E naturals too. But for the most part, we have B flat and E flat and A flat. So watch out for those. Starting at the very beginning, this is a fairly fast tune. You want to get it eventually to, it says 152 beats a minute, which is this. That kind of thing. So fairly quick, although of course you want to practice it slowly at first. And I'm going to do it mostly slowly here, just so you can hear what's going on. And because I haven't worked it up to speed yet either, you would gradually work that up. And by the way, a metronome is a really good way to do that, because you can set your metronome at a slower tempo and see what you can do it at. Once you master that tempo and get it really, really good, you just notch it up just a little bit, and then master it at that tempo, and then master it at this tempo, and master it at this tempo. If you're methodical about that, that's how you really get fast at music. People always ask me, how do you play that fast stuff? And the glib answer, but also the right answer is, well, you do it slow for a long time first. You got to get really good at it slow first. So at the beginning here, we have lots of weird notes, of course. Let me go over the trills first. There are 4 trills in the song, although 2 of them are the same, so that's not a big deal. The one at 16 we have is the TR squiggly, by the way, is sometimes what I call those. You can see measure 16, you've got that little TR with a squiggly line after it. That means that you trill, go back and forth between 2 notes really rapidly. And the rule is, it's the note that's written there plus the note that's above it in the key that you're in the key signature that you're in, unless it has a flat sign or a sharp sign or something by the trill, and in that case you alter it a little bit. 16, measure 16, is an example of that. You have a high C, okay, and the TR has a flat sign by it, which means that even though D, the next note up in the scale, is not marked flat in the key signature, that you would still play the trill as a D flat. So you're going to trill from C to D flat, which makes it actually really easy. You just trill with this finger. Just your first finger, okay? And you have to make sure to do it for long enough, of course. There's 4 beats plus that one little extra 8th note at the end, which basically means you chop that trill off right at the first beat of the next measure. Trill 2, 3, 4, off in the next measure, okay? The same trill kind of thing happens at measure 32. This time you have a G, and since there's an A flat, the next note up in the scale, of course, is A. Since there's an A flat in the key signature, you would trill between G and A flat, just with that finger right there. Just with your pinky, okay? The same thing happens at 36, and those are just 4 measures each, 4 beats each. The same thing happens at 36, and then the same C trill happens at the end. The C to D flat happens at 69. So that one shouldn't be all that hard. There are lots of cases in this song where you have an E natural, which is, of course, 3 fingers plus 2 fingers. There's also a lot of cases in this song when you have a D flat, or just your pinky. D flat, remember, is the same finger in C sharp. That's because the E natural and D flat constitute part of what's called the natural minor scale, which is what this is based on. Sorry, not the natural minor, the harmonic minor scale, it's called. So there are lots of D flats and lots of E naturals, although E flat is in the key signature. So remember, if it doesn't have a natural by it, it is still going to be E flat, just to be careful, okay? One other thing here, we have a couple of divises, 48 going into 49. There's a divisi at 49. Make sure you learn both those notes so that you can play it either, 48 rest with the top note, or rest the G with the bottom note. You can play both those. There's a divisi also the last 2 measures of the song, although this is the same note both low and high. It just depends, and it's the same fingering too. It just depends on how fast you're blowing. So the last 2 measures, down low, or exactly the same fingering. C, C, D flat, B flat, C, okay? So those are the only divises in the whole song. The rhythm you have to worry about here is kind of complicated, but it happens all exactly the same way every single time. If you look at measure 19, there's a 8th note, 8th rest, 2 8th notes, 8th rest, 8th note, 8th rest, 8th note, 8th note into the next measure. So what we have here is bump, 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 bump. If you were to count this, it would be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. 1, 2, and 1. There's a lot of offbeat stuff here. So 19, the D's are flat there too, of course. In the next measure, or the next part, 21, it's exactly the same rhythm, just slightly different notes. Whoa, sorry. The 23 goes back to the same, and then 25 is the same as the second one. So not that hard, really, once you get the idea of that 1, 2, and 1. That does happen some in the next section too. Okay, let me take it right at the beginning. I'm going to play it fairly slow, like I said, just so you can get down here what's going on in terms of rhythm. I'm going to skip the first 3 measures plus 3 beats, of course, starting the pickup note before 5. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let me try that one again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Or the lower note, of course, and then 50 is 2, 3. The next part coming in 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You can hear that one section that measures 61, the D flats and the E natural. That's what makes those 2 notes really is what makes it sound so exotic and Middle Eastern kind of sounding. Those 2 notes right there. Very much, a lot of kids, when I play this for them or something like this, they say they're reminded of Aladdin, especially the beginning of Aladdin, Arabian Nights, that thing. Because that music is from the Middle East too. They kind of based on, music from that area of the world. Okay, if you have any other questions, of course, see me in class. I'll be glad to help you out or shoot me an email. Thanks, Connor. Good luck.